Most vehicle med kits aren't built for emergencies. They're built to feel prepared or because your off-road club requires it. Band-aids, wipes, random supplies you'll never use. That's not what this is. This is the med kit I keep in my Jeep, built for real problems, real decisions, and real consequences. Most people build medical kits backwards. They actually start with a list, buy a pouch, then fill the stuff that looks right. And none of that matters if it doesn't match how emergencies actually unfold. This kit isn't about having everything, it's about having the right things for the first few minutes, when decisions matter most. So instead of showing you a gear dump, I'm going to show you the thinking behind it as I go through it, because gear only makes sense if the reasoning does. Even though we talk about reducing decisions that have to be made in emergencies, the first thing I have to do in an emergency is to decide which kit to take. For me, real simple decision tree. From within the Jeep, in other words, anybody that's riding with me, I take this one. Somebody that's outside, I come upon an accident or something that has happened, I grab this one. This is my full EMT kit, complete with stethoscope and other things that we're not going to discuss today. So we'll break this down into layers. Number one, layer one, immediate life threats. This is where everything starts. Massive bleeding, airway, breathing. If you get this wrong, nothing else matters. Tourniquet on the outside, lift, pull, already geared up and ready to roll. What that means for the rest of the kit is all the tourniquets on the outside because it's an initial and need it now. Open it up. We've got pressure bandages. I've got gloves, and I have my airway adjunct. Keep in mind, I've been trained for this. If you don't know how to use one or you're not trained for it, use the head tilt chin lift. Should be able to open that airway real quickly. These items are simple, accessible, no digging, right there because in a real world situation, I don't have time to search. Layer two is stabilization. Once the immediate threat is handled, you buy time. This layer supports wound packing reinforcement, secondary bandaging, basic airway support if I need to, so I can go back to this or adjust as needed, and then thermal management. It's right here. How cold is my patient? How am I having to deal with that? But this is where most kits get cluttered. Too many options, too much thinking. This kit actually keeps it controlled. Layer three is sustainment. Now managing the situation and just waiting for EMS. Self-transport decisions. Do I throw them in here and take off? Is there a longer duration of care? Do I need to deal with other things? Do I need additional gauze? Again, here. Another emergency trauma dressing. Basic medications as needed, whether it's Benadryl, Advil, Tylenol, but keep in mind, I know how to use them, and things that may be minor wound care. Thus the duct tape on the front. This is where convenience matters, but only after priorities are handled. Even though it may not look like it, this is handled in a very systematic approach. Airway, bleeding, circulation, deformities, I can use tape or sticks or tape and sticks. And again, environment, A, B, C, D, E. Real simple, thermal blanket. I have two of them because there's usually more than one person I'm dealing with in an emergency situation, and we're in Montana. Now, what's not in this kit? This matters just as much as what's in the kit. No random fillers, no duplicates just in case, no gear I don't train with because every extra item adds friction, and friction slows you down when speed matters the most. What you didn't see is you didn't see Band-Aids. Why? Because I use duct tape and gauze for that. If somebody's got an ouchie, they better hope they have a little first aid kit with them. Now, how does this actually fit in the vehicle? The vehicle kit is actually not a backpacking kit. That's more in line with what the bigger one was that I showed earlier. I have space, I have access, but I also have chaos. So this is set up for one-hand access when I can. You saw me reach, grab, and pull. For me, it's clearly organized by priority, not by category. Again, no Band-Aids. Fast identification under stress. I've got it marked med kit, plus I've got the red tourniquet on the outside so I can see this even in the dark. I know where all the components are. I know where all the pieces are. So if I open this under pressure, I already know where my hands are going. The real point that most people miss, this isn't about copying my kit. It's about understanding why it's built this way. Because under stress, you won't rise to the level of your gear. You fall to the level of your preparation. If your kit makes you think, it's actually too complicated. If your kit slows you down, it's actually wrong. And if your kit doesn't match how emergencies actually happen, it's just decoration or a checkbox that you've already done. If you're building your own med kit, start with the problem, not the gear, because the right setup doesn't just carry equipment, it buys time when it actually matters most.